In front of us is the dam of Caniçada. It is located between Terras de Ouro and Vieira do Minho, in the basin of the river Cávado, in the North Province. Its structure was concluded in 1955. It has a height of 76 meters, length of a crowning of 246 meters. It has a volume of 90,000 cubic meters and a maximum capacity of discharge of 1,700 cubic meters per second. It is a kind of arch dam. The installed capacity is 60 megawatts, producing an average of 346 gigawatts hour per year.
Although the hydraulic power of the watercourses has been first natural resources used to humans obtain the energy, its development started only in the beginning of the 20th century. Nowadays, Portugal is, among all European countries, the one who less used its hydraulic ability. This is not because of lack of infrastructure, but because we have extremely favorable characteristics for its development. Its use is below 40%. However, there is a plan to build 10 new dams. These 10 new dams produce the equivalent of 2,000 megawatts, and with wind power will be decided to put Portugal as the third European country with greater use of renewable energy, just behind Sweden and Austria. We can also be proud because we transform energy in electricity with great success. We are the European Union with the highest percentage of electricity produced by hydropower. We have 38.6% of the electricity available for final consumption.
Currently in Portugal, about 30% of the electricity consumed in the country stems from hydropower, and the potential for exploitation of hydropower is distributed throughout national territory, with greater concentration in the north and center of the country.
In the continent there is no recent magmatic activities, so we reduce the thermal activities that are common across the north of the country, for example, Caldas de Jerez and Caldas de Saúde. A complex and diverse geology has given to the country a considerable geothermal potential, evidenced by the high number of occurrences with temperatures exceeding 20 degrees. In the continent, in the field of traditional geothermal, which are excluded high temperatures, the geothermal potential can be harnessed in two ways. The development of resources of 100 thermal existing poles with temperatures between 20 degrees and 70 degrees, with a potential estimated at around 20 megawatts, and the exploitation of deep aquifers in western sedimentary edges and Algarve revealed by the recognition of oil holes.
In the first case, we have small investments in São Pedro do Sul and Chaves. Furthermore, we can find spots where it's available the market as well as the resource. For example, we have Alcafaz, Manteigas, Monção, Jerez, Vizela, Carvalhal, and so on. Among the low-end topics, we use geothermal energy for environmental heating, balneotherapy, greenhouses, and there is even potential to use geothermal energy for fish culture. This can and should be done in an integrated manner in order to obtain the best use of the resource.
The usage of geothermal energy to produce electricity is reduced to geothermal springs, in which they are located in broken areas. However, there is furnace geysers, where there water has temperatures that exceed in 200 degrees.
Aerogenerators that are found here take part of the wind park of Penassuar. This park was installed in 1997 and it is composed by 20 towers. Each one has 42 meters and a power of 10 megawatts. Since mid-century 12, that wind power is harnessed in Portugal through the use of tilting at windmills. The first wind farm was established in 1988 in Santa Maria, with the installations of a wind farm in Figueira with an installed capacity of 2,070 kilowatts. This production structure contributed annually with an average of about 4% of total production of the island. At present, the distribution of these plants covering almost the entire country with approximately 150 megawatts of installed power by 2001.
On the continent, only in the last decade some studies have begun. These were conducted in order to the use of this form of energy as a source of electricity. At the end of 2007, Portugal was the 10th world producer of wind energy in absolute terms and the 4th in relative terms. There was installed a capacity of 2,150 megawatts, which represents 2.3% of the world market.
The production of electricity through the use of waves and tides is not very practicable in Portugal because the waves are too low and their magnitude cannot be increased due to the lack of area on the coast. However, this year, the city of Póvoa de Varzim received the world's first park use of wave energy. This infrastructure produces enough power for 250,000 inhabitants.
A via ecológica.
Solar energy deals with the use of direct sunlight to produce energy. This is an enterprise targeted for solar energy and its conversion into both electrical and thermal energy. This process started because the system was more advanced than the coal and wood, and artificial gas and electricity were too expensive.
Portugal is one of the European countries with greater availability of solar radiation.
In Lisbon, in an inclined plane of 40 degrees and targeted the south, the average daily power of direct solar radiation can receive 440 watts per meter.
It's the energy of the sun. It would make sense at the Portuguese territory. This is because our country has around 2,100 to 3,100 hours of sunshine per year, equivalent to 1,700 kilowatt-hours per square meter.
We are in the mountains where we can see the pureness of the wild nature and feel the cleanness of an unpolluted air. We came here to talk about biomass. The use of biomass fuel for energy purposes is done through some practices such as anaerobic digestion and direct burning.
Industries of forestry have been used biomass to produce thermal and electric energy for 30 years. Altogether, they spent in 2003 35,300 terajoules of primary energy from biomass, which represents 73% of the total weight of waste. Plants more used to create energy are black liquor 83%, eucalyptus and pine 15%, and others 2%.
Values related to the biomass consumed from 2003 are 52% higher than the same values for 1990, as well as value related to the production of electricity show an improvement of 119%. The energy which results from biomass supply a reducing of the CO2 emissions by 60 tons per year.
Portugal hasn't got any thermonuclear central. There is only a reactor, the Portuguese Research Reactor, operating in the Nuclear and Technological Institute in order to do some research.
As we can see overwards, fossil fuels are still the largest resource of energy used in the country. Although there is already a large adherence to natural gas, it is still polluting and finite, not constituting a feasible and eternal solution. Portugal doesn't have any oil wells either on land or on the coast. At least they haven't been found yet, or we'll start investigations and drilling on Tunisia's coast.
Nevertheless, we have 2 oil refineries. There we can find a lot of byproducts of imported material. They are the refinery of Sines and the refinery of Porto. Working since 1978, the refinery of Sines is one of the biggest in Europe in distillation capacity, 10.8 million tonnes per year, what is equivalent to 222,000 barrels per day. The refinery of Oporto is where we are now. It is in the industrial complex located in the county of Matosinhos. It has 188,000 cubic meters of storage capacity, of which about 680,000 cubic meters are for crude oil and 1,200,000 cubic meters to intermediate and final products.
Since 1903, the usage of the coal, the main energetic resources of medium and modern age, has been decreasing. Actually, it was practically replaced by petrol and hydraulic energy after 1960. Analyzing the graphic, we understand that the production of the electric energy through non-polluting renewable resources has been growing faster in the last decade. This tendency is also followed by the natural gas. All of them are concentrating petrol, which after 2006 and perhaps because of its high price has been decreasing its contribution to the electricity.
If we try to link the previous graphic to this one, we conclude that the low rates of importations to Portugal is directly related to the decrease of its usage to obtain electric energy. Provides that renewable energy has begun to gain ground or begun to be imported in smaller quantities.
Even to the natural gas, oil has lost ground. This is because in terms of importations, the gas tends to rise and the oil to fall, continuing like that into the future till 2015.